6 years ago, I showed up here and climbed a wall, and I nearly decided to climb to the roof and jump off. But I didn't, obviously. I'm sitting here again, 6 years later. But the crazy thing is I feel that emptiness again. And I don't have a script, I don't have a nice microphone, I don't have a camera. I just have a little tripod and my phone and a whole bunch of thoughts about what this emptiness feels like, and because I made a promise to myself 4 years ago that I would never do anything to myself. I'm not going to climb that wall again, and I'm not going to go to the roof, and I'm not going to jump off, and I'm not going to do anything like that ever again. And the promise I made to myself 4 years ago, I thought was going to be accompanied by it not needing to be a promise that I would have to fight to keep. And I guess putting it that way is unfair because I don't really feel like fighting, but at the same time I don't feel like I have to fight because something in me changed 4 years ago, and unfortunately, or fortunately, however you'd like to look at it, no matter how bad it gets, I am never going to do anything to harm myself. And I can't believe that I'm here, and I can't believe that I'm talking about something like this. And I guess it's fitting because I can't really believe a lot of things. I can't believe a lot of things are happening to me that are happening. And there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of bad things too. And I thought that maybe I should come here and make this video because I don't really expect this to get more than 100 views, and I'm ashamed that I'm even thinking about views and anything. I guess I don't expect many people to see this, but that's half of the point, I guess, because the other half of the point is making this for my past self who climbed up that wall and almost went to the roof. And maybe a part of me is making this for people who don't know what it's like. And maybe I'm making this so that I can just say what I feel. Because right now, something that's making me feel so empty is I feel like I have nowhere to go. I feel like I have nobody to go to, and I feel like I have nowhere to belong. And what sucks is I can't even count on two hands how many people would be here right now if I called them. Family alone, more than 10. I could almost guarantee it. My friends, whether or not they live here, if I called them, I know that they would do their best, and that they would be here if they could. I know I have people that care about me. I know I have places, so many places to go, so many people to go to, but there's something in my brain that finds a way to dismiss every single one of my options. And it's so cruel how good this voice is at persuading me into believing that it's right, and that I can't reach out, and that I can't ask for help, and that I can't ask to stay over, and that I can't ask to hang out. I just feel so fucking alone. And I know I'm not. And when I climbed up that wall 6 years ago, I wasn't alone. But I was almost there. And I feel like maybe I should just explain what it feels like, despite how illogical it is and how irrational it is, just so that I can maybe get it out. Because I know it's irrational, I know it's illogical. It's not right. But when this feeling comes, my chest is a black hole. And it's the only way to describe the darkness, the sheer gravity of everything getting sucked and just fucking sucked all into one place, into my heart. And it's too much. It's too much. So this feeling of being on the edge feels like perfect hopelessness, complete emptiness, aloneness, detachment, and rationalization for all the wrong reasons. It tells me I have nobody to go to, no place to go to, no relief. Relief is pointless anyways. It makes me question reality, myself, my decisions. It tells me that happiness is futile because of the sheer inevitability that I will return here. It tells me that I'm perfectly cursed with the fear of death but the hatred of life. So all I can do is sit and suffer when awake and wait until I don't have to be awake anymore. And it tells me the long list of reasons as to why I can't say a word to a single friend, to a single family member, to a single human, to a single person. It tells me why I can't say a word to anybody. And it tells me that any place I could go to for relief won't be there. Or if it is a place of relief, it's a place I don't belong, or a place I'm not allowed, or a place I'm rejected, or a place of conflict, or a place of complication. And this feeling tells me that there is just nothing. Nothing but the countdown to when this feeling returns. And this feeling is preying on the day that I submit and that I give in, and that it finally overpowers me and the promise that I made to myself. But unfortunately, that feeling will never break the promise that I made myself. So fortunately for me, I guess. That feeling tells me that I'm in my mid-20s, and here I am back at my high school, feeling the same old way. And it tells me, who am I? Who have I been? What have I done? What am I worth? What am I doing? What's the point? Tells me that I'll never see myself win. I'll never see myself out. And this feeling ultimately does succeed in bringing me here late at night when I have work in the morning. But it's a job I don't even like anymore, and none of my coworkers understand this feeling. And frankly, I don't want to tell them. I don't want to tell my managers. just easier to say I'm sick. And if anything, I am sick, but just a different kind of sick that doesn't make sense to them, that's uncomfortable to talk about. So why not just say I'm just sick? And I am sick. Because tonight, I didn't think about climbing this wall and jumping off the roof. Tonight, I had a similar thought for the first time since the night I climbed this wall. And tonight, I thought about driving to the mountains, to this beautiful overlook of the city. And I thought about what it would be like if I just tumbled over the edge. And I drove there. And I parked at the edge. And I thought about it. And I thought about all the people I could tell. And I thought about all the things I could do. But ultimately, I talked to nobody. And nobody even knows. Nobody even knows that I feel this bad. And that's really scary. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the people who care about me for me to feel like this and not reach out at all. And it's not fair to them that I have a voice that gives me a list of reasons as to why I can't reach out to them, and as to why they wouldn't even answer anyways. And it's not fair to my family. And it's not fair to my mom, who lost her brother when they were 17 to this feeling. And it's not fair to my mom that she had to deal with the fear of that happening again with me, with her child, for years. And it's not fair that it almost happened again, and that I wound up here one night and I didn't tell anybody. I've done a lot of things that aren't fair. And I've done a lot of things that aren't right, and I've made a lot of mistakes. And I've hurt people I've cared about, and I've hurt myself. And I've done things that don't make sense, and I've felt ways that don't make sense. And now I'm here again feeling all kinds of ways that don't make sense. I know it's because there's something going on in here, and I've been diagnosed with anxiety, I've been diagnosed with depression, and that's pretty much it. And that was coming from a high school psychiatrist. And since then, I haven't really followed up with anybody. I went to the hospital once because somebody called my parents for me. But I still feel like I've never been legitimately diagnosed with anything or anything to allow me to feel valid in my feelings, even though I can confidently say that I have felt enough anxiety, and it used to be mainly anxiety and a little bit of depression, but now lately it feels like it's turned around. And I still get anxious and I still have anxiety attacks, but lately I've just been fucking hollow and I've just been depressed. And I feel like there's something else, because I feel like I just can't focus. I feel like I dissociate. And I have a therapist and we're talking about it. But I'm just a fucking mess. And I feel like I've just been a mess for 10 years. And pretty much from the day I got here to this place, to this high school, up until 2 years after I graduated, it was not good. I was not good. I was a mess. And since 2020, somehow that was the fucking year that I cleaned up, that I made that promise to myself, that I made that breakthrough. And I've still been a mess, but not the same kind of out of control mess. But I'm still a mess. And I'm still here. I'm back here. And I am so sick of feeling like I can't go anywhere. And I am so fucking sick of feeling alone, of feeling empty, of feeling like I don't belong. And that's so sad for so many reasons. And I'm doing so many things that I wouldn't have even been able to comprehend back then. And I always say this, but I guess as funny as it can be, I always say that even if me right now, with all the knowledge I have, with all the wisdom and maturity and understanding that I have, and even though tonight I thought about literally going off a cliff, I won't. But if I right now was able to go back in time like that and grab my ankle as I was climbing the wall 6 years ago and pull myself down and hold myself by the shoulders and look into my own eyes and say that this isn't it, that it's not going to be like this forever, I wouldn't believe myself. I wouldn't believe myself looking into my own eyes. because that's how lost I was. That's how deep I was. That's how heavy it was. That's how real it was. And it's not any less real now. When my brain turns off and I think about what falling over the edge of a cliff would feel like, it's not any less real. But I'm changed, and I've made promises. And I've made mistakes, but that's not all that I am. And I know that. And I don't remember everything that I felt, and that's part of whatever this dissociation feeling is. But I remember what it was like to feel that empty. And whatever shade of empty I'm feeling now, I know I've felt 1,000 times more, 1,000 times darker, 1,000 times stronger when I was climbing up that wall. I know what that's like, and I know that it's never worth it. And I know that if I was able to tell myself that, I just wouldn't listen. And so I guess in honor of overcoming everything, and following my promise, and before I keep rambling, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sleep, and I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and I'm gonna make sure that the sunset that I missed tonight wasn't the last sunset for me, and that the last words I said to my friends aren't gonna be the last words I say to them. Because that wouldn't be right. And it's not right that I do this to myself. I really hate feeling this fucking alone. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sleep and I'm gonna wake up in the morning. And I'm gonna deal with everything I need to deal with, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'll never stop. I'll never stop. Maybe one day there'll be another future me talking from this same spot about everything I achieved that Just like I couldn't believe it back then, and just how I can't believe it right now. Maybe there'll be another future me looking down, telling me how good I'm doing. And that's the me that I can't give up on. And all the people that love me and care about me, I can't give up on them either. And for whoever's watching this, you can't give up either. It's gonna be okay. And until next time, because there will be a next time, I'll be okay. And you'll be okay. And take care. And have a good night. Peace.